What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a video of Tesla versus NIO, two electrical companies that seem to rival one another. So the question is, which company do I like more? Which one would I consider buying short term, long term? And I'll be answering all those questions in this video. But before we get started, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, hit the notification bell, smash that subscribe button, and let's get this video started. So first, let's talk about NIO, how they've done this year. So far, year to date, both these companies have performed poorly. So we have NIO here, they're down 19.68%. From NIO's high point at $10.16, they've declined 50.98%. And this was after some pretty disappointing earnings, and that's being generous. And if we look at Tesla right here, year to date, Tesla has performed almost just as bad. Tesla is down 22%, and if you look at their high point right here of $346 US, they've went down 30.47%. So NIO has dropped a lot more than Tesla. But then again, NIO, when you look at them in size, NIO has a market cap of 5.24 billion. Tesla has a market cap of 41.7 billion. Now, looking at both these companies, they are both trading under the support line that I have previously drawn. So we have right here a support line for NIO at around $6, and then I even drew a second support line right here at around $5. This line was previously acting as a support line. As you can see, NIO has bounced off the support line 1-2 times, and now it's acting like a resistance. It went below $5 and now it's currently acting as a resistance line. And right here for Tesla, you've seen a support line at around $260. I even drew a second one at around $250. And as you can see, recently Tesla has gone way below the support line, and that was also due to very disappointing earnings for both companies. I made a couple videos on Tesla, a bunch of videos on NIO. So if you want a lot more detail into both those companies, you could check out those videos. For example, I did talk about how Tesla plans to release a robo-taxi by year 2021. Elon Musk has promised to release 1 million robo-taxis to the public.
I feel very confident predicting autonomous robo-taxis for Tesla next year. But next year, for sure, we will have over 1 million robo-taxis on the road.
So right now, both these companies have been beat up. Both these companies have released some disappointing earnings, and both these companies are trading under their previous support line. So which company is the better buy right now? So a lot of people used to call NIO the Tesla of China, and people thought that NIO would have been Tesla's biggest competitor. But it seems to me that NIO should be more concerned about Tesla than Tesla should be more concerned about NIO, because Tesla is becoming more of a threat to NIO than the other way around, which was the original thought when the company IPO'd in mid-February. Tesla's new Model 3's EVs reached Chinese soil after little more than 2 weeks at sea. However, this is not planned to last for long. Tesla is building its third gigafactory in Shanghai, where NIO was supposed to construct its first production plant, and the project is set to be completed in May. Once production begins, which most likely won't be in May, Tesla will no longer have to endure the import costs China charges, wait 18 days for shipment, or pay shipping costs. This will place Tesla in a very strong position against other Chinese EV players. I do think that would be one concern for NIO. So Tesla versus NIO, we're going to talk about their business model. So Tesla's model is relatively straightforward. You go to the store or you shop online, you buy the car from Tesla, and it's yours. Tesla also offers financing options that space the cost out over many years. Tesla also offers charging through its proprietary supercharger network with 1,327 stations offering 10,854 charging points worldwide, capable of offering 120 kilowatts to mostly charge a Tesla in under half an hour. NIO is slightly different. It offers mobile sales through an app which doubles up as an online platform. The firm also operates NIO houses that act as both showrooms and clubhouses, aimed as fostering an online community and maintaining contact. Without Tesla's investment in infrastructure, NIO has opted for a different approach to cut charging times. Its power swap service physically switches out the internal battery, which was an approach dismissed by Musk, while a mobile charging service visits users to top their cars up if needed. NIO can also access China's national charging network, which is 59.6% of which are classified as superchargers. It's hard to say how the next few years will play out, but it's safe to say NIO's approach is intriguing to say the least. It does offer you the power to swap out your battery. They come right to you, they swap your battery. I don't know about the costs, but it does sound like something that is intriguing to me. One of the main attractions for NIO was that it was generally considered the Tesla of China, but this could be turning into a major negative trait for NIO. So, of course, Tesla has been a tailspin as its sales have plunged, and Tesla will likely have to raise more capital. There was also ongoing concerns about leadership of Elon Musk. And as for NIO stock, it has been on a similar bearish trajectory. Although its decline has been more intense than that of Tesla stock, since February, NIO stock has tumbled from $10 to $4.80. Consider that NIO is now below its September 2018 IPO price, which is at $6.26. NIO has struggled despite the fact that Chinese stocks, including Alibaba and JD.com, have done particularly well lately. So one of the reasons for poor performance of NIO stock was its awful fourth quarter earnings report, which came out early March. NIO reported a loss of 509.5 million or 49 cents per share. Analyst consensus estimate was 32 cents per share. The company's outlook was also disappointing as its deliveries are expected to be light in the first half of this year. Partially explaining NIO's struggles, the Chinese economy has been sluggish and the Lunar New Year holiday adversely impacted its business additionally. The Chinese government has slashed subsidies from electric vehicles. Some of the cuts were as much as 75%, which I did talk about this in my previous video, and I'll leave a link in the description below where you can check it out if you want more information on NIO. So the outlook on NIO isn't bad at all. For the most part, strong non-cyclical positive drivers continue to present in China. Keep in mind that the number of middle-class people in China is expected to hit 780 million people within the next 6 years. The adoption of electric vehicles has also been brisk in China, and the trend should continue over the long term. China is the largest market for electric vehicles, and the sales of EVs jumped by 62% in 2018. The government wants EVs to be about 20% of China's total car sales by 2025. Yet perhaps the biggest catalyst for NIO stock is its ES6 crossover SUV, which is expected to hit the market in a month or so. The ES6 is a 5-seater that can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.7 seconds, and its range is 510 kilometers. So far, it looks like the pre-orders for the vehicle are a hit. The bottom line on NIO stock, in the near term, NIO stock can easily rally, which is why I'm swing trading this company. And the fact is that the investors' sentiment toward NIO is downright terrible, but the launch of ES6 should spark interest in NIO and spur growth in the second half of the year. NIO is a very volatile company, and in the long term, it's questionable what might happen with this company. So you could continue to see a lot of volatility in the short term, which would be perfect for swing trades. In the long term, who knows? It's still a fairly new company. China can get very competitive, and you never know what other competition might come out in China. As for Tesla, there's always two sides to the story. One side, there are bears, like the analyst at Cowen, who just hung a $160 target price on Tesla after the company's recent challenges, more than 30% downside from here. On the other side, there are bulls like Berenberg that set a 500% target, more than double current prices, with analysts calling the idea of any competition to Tesla a myth. Tesla has been a very volatile company as well, and as you can see from these charts right here, Tesla has traded in between this support and this resistance, and they've continued to trade in between these two lines, and after its most recent earnings, it broke below both these supports right here. So for me, I like Tesla long term, mostly because they've been around for quite some time. I think Elon Musk is great at what he does. That's putting aside his tweets, that's putting aside what he does outside of work. But what Elon Musk has done for Tesla has been great so far. I think the Tesla vehicle itself is far more advanced than any other electrical vehicle. Yes, a lot of competition is going to come out for Tesla, but long term, I do believe more in Tesla than I would in NIO. And short term, I would rather swing NIO versus Tesla. So at these prices, I would consider both companies a buy. But let's keep in mind, this is just strictly for entertainment and educational purposes, and you guys should always do your due diligence. But I think both these companies have been beat up already, especially NIO. NIO's been beat up by over 50%. Tesla's been beat up from its recent highs by over 30%. So both these companies have been beat up. I do think Tesla does have more room for downside. It would be very interesting to see if Tesla goes below $200. which I would consider a very strong buy at this time. But at this point, looking at these charts, Tesla does seem to be oversold. If I look at both these companies, they're both in the bottom of their 52-week range. I do think Tesla has more room for downside than NIO does. I think NIO has pretty much hit its bottom. I'm not saying it can't go lower. It's always possible that it could go lower. But in the short term, I do think NIO is perfect for a swing trade for me. I will be swing trading NIO. As for long term, I do think Tesla is a great long term investment because I do believe in electric vehicles. I do think they are the future. Just like 100 years ago, when cars first came out and people were riding around in horses and chariots, you wouldn't see as much cars as you would horses. And then 100 years later, you don't see horses and chariots anymore. So it's the same thing now. You see a lot more gas vehicles than you see electric vehicles. But maybe in 50 to 100 years, I don't think we'll be seeing that many gas vehicles. And I do think that electric vehicles will take over the world one day. So that's the main reason why I believe in Tesla. And they're the first company to do it the way they do it. If you compare any other electric vehicle to Tesla, they are not in Tesla's league. A Tesla vehicle, you step into a Tesla vehicle, you don't want to get out. And that's pretty much it for Tesla. So I do consider both these companies a buy, especially at these prices. If NIO goes back to 450 or lower, I definitely think it's a good buy. And if Tesla does ever go below $200, I do think that's a strong buy. As of now, both these companies have been beat up. They're both in the bottom of their 52-week ranges. And at this point, I do think there's more room for upside versus downside. At the end of the day, I do think both these companies will recover. And there will always be bears and bulls. There's a lot of people saying Tesla's going back down to 100, below 180. And there's a lot of people saying that Tesla can go to 500. So, and then the same thing with NIO. NIO could easily be a company that goes bankrupt. I do think NIO is a company with a lot more risk because this company is a pretty fresh IPO. And China might get really competitive. With Tesla, I think they established themselves more. So it will be interesting to see how both these companies play out. As I mentioned already, they're both buys in my books, and I do own both companies now. I just started a position in Tesla after its most recent correction. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. Let me know what you think about these companies. Which company do you prefer over the other one? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.